Okay, now I'm going to do another video right after that other one. And we'll do another thing that is kind of weird. We'll see how you guys do with this one. The entity that I think most people call spirit or soul, or what I would consider who I really am, that is a separate entity, okay, than the body that you're in. The body that you're in is made up of Gaia, and the whole sperm and egg and growing and all that stuff. That was all created via very complex and a whole bunch of people and entities involved from actual parts of Gaia. And this body that you are in, that has a consciousness too. And its consciousness is a lot more caught up in time, space, and the rules here than your spirit soul self. So, and I'll give you an example, and this is way before I died, but my spirit soul always knew that ghosts exist and no big deal, and I just knew, even before I died, that things like telekinesis and stuff, that was all real and would make sense, and it didn't shock me or scare me or anything. Now I'll give you two examples of how, even though my soul, my spirit knew these things, we're very comfortable with them, how that was not the same as my human body with these two stories. And the one was, I was with this guy, and we were talking about, moving things with your mind. And we were talking about it very matter of fact, and of course I didn't think it was any big deal, and he was comfortable with the fact that I didn't think it was any big deal. And so he reached out, and there was a pencil on a table, and he took his hand above it, and he moved it back and forth, kind of barely moved it, and the pencil rolled all the way over, all the way back, all the way over, all the way back, and I literally jumped back against the wall, and I could feel that my body was scared to death. And then that happened wicked fast. And then I got a hold of it, and I went, wait a minute, you don't think that's strange? You don't think there's anything odd about it? Why were you scared? And I didn't understand that, of course, at the time. It was, within 10 years, give or take, that movie that came out, 3 Men and a Baby. And remember, they found the ghost boy in the original movie. Somebody found it. So, of course, I found out about it, and we were running over, and this was back in the days of VHS. So we put went and rented the VHS, brought it to the house, and I'm on the floor in front of the TV, and we're fast-forwarding and backwarding, and one at a time frame, trying to find this little boy. And we click on that little boy, and it was a still frame, and I literally, and I was an adult, young adult, but an adult, and I turned around and ran away on my hands and knees in total and abject fear. Okay, those are two examples of my human body with understanding the rules of the game, so to speak, on planet Earth in 3D, being afraid of things that the other part of me was not afraid of at all. Okay? So, when you're dealing with, of course, your soul part of you is in charge, or can be in charge. It's up to you, but most of the time it's in charge. So you can soothe the human body part of you. You can convince the human body part of you. You can change things in the human body part of you, because you are kind of the higher self to the human body consciousness part of you, the conscious human body part of you. So let's take an example. Somebody gets cancer, and their soul part of them and their body part of them are matching, and they are very much a part of the 3D experience. They're part of how cancer is caused, and that medical science is how you cure it, and. Well, those will work together, And given the belief systems of the combination of those two parts of you, you'll either get better or you won't and you'll die. Okay? Or you can have another person who is very into the new agey stuff and they absolutely believe that they are a creator God, that they control the situation, but they aren't really in touch or in tune or haven't melded with as well their human body. That would be me. And the human body's consciousness excuse me. The human body consciousness is very attached to the 3D, 4D, or 3D world. And it says, oh no, I've got cancer and I'm going to die. There's nothing I can do about it. And if you don't get me to chemotherapy, I am a dead duck. Now, if your spirit part of you doesn't communicate well with the consciousness of your human body part of you, then there's a good chance you're going to die. Okay? You got to connect those two. So it's not just a matter of you becoming all cerebral or above cerebral and new agey and going, oh, I'm connected with my higher self and I've got all this data and I connect with spirit guides and beyond. If you don't communicate that to your body, if you don't take your body with you, then it's not going to do any good. Now, what will happen is your human body will fall apart and it will die and you will go on your merry way or reincarnate or incarnate somewhere else. Okay? So it's a multi-pronged thing, this what everybody calls ascension or raising your vibrations gig that we're playing right now. And it's very complex. So when I died and I came back, I had the whole spirit part of me. Yeah, it's rocking and rolling. I've got all the answers to that. What I did not do and had not done my whole life is connected with my human body. I've never been a human before. I very seldom do physical anyway, but I certainly have never been a 3D human before, so I suck at running this human body. I have spent a lifetime of not being able to read, and I'm a nurse. I'm a effing nurse, and I still don't do it right. I trip, I fall, I ride horses and, wild horses, but I will fall walking across the yard. Yeah, go figure. So it took me a long time to figure out that there was another consciousness that was here that I needed to talk to, communicate to, really apologize to, because I've treated this body like it was nothing. I've treated the consciousness like it didn't exist for decades. So we have had to have a lot of my work when I came back after being dead was not in what a lot of you guys are doing. I already got that. My work is making peace and communicating and merging with, as you would say, my lower self, not my higher self. I've got the higher self and up. I know how to do that. Got that down. My problem is communicating with this human body, this avatar that I'm running. And as long as I am here on this planet, I have to get the hang of this. And that is what I have done. It took me, after I got out of my coma, I couldn't walk. I had very little bad memory. My 17/18-year-old daughter had to bathe me. She had to toilet me. She had to feed me. She had to do everything. And so I had to get over that. And then I had about a year of beg and borrow. I don't steal, but beg and borrow of places we could go before we were homeless. I had very limited time schedule. And this was for somebody they said who'd never walk again, couldn't think again, never work again. So, I was under pressure here. So I had to do that first for the first year, so I didn't even have time to sort out my memories from the other side. I was busy trying to learn how to walk and talk and work again. And then when I started working again, well, needless to say, that probably wasn't the best thing for me. Being under all that pressure as far as my body goes, that I had no business doing that. No business at all, but I didn't have a choice. So I went back to work, and I worked hard, and within 2 years, I was months away from being right back in that coma, and I knew it. So through that period of time, that first 3 years, I was physically surviving, again, treating this physical body very badly, with no respect, but I didn't know any way out of it at that point. So when I finally downsized and we bought a little trailer and we just kind of traveled, and I got together $5,000-$6,000 and we just stretched that to beat the band until things started to flow. So it bought me about 12 months of being able to work on tying into this body, and then I could start creating from this body, not from my ethereal side of me, but from this now time, that things started to flow a little bit better. It was still real rocky, but it was a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better, and it's gotten slowly better and better and better. But still, I work at that mostly every day. That is my biggest thing that I am dealing with, is learning to do that right now. So although I'm very happy to share with you anything that I remember, and like I've told you, the other side is a very big place. It is way outside of what the human brain can comprehend. I don't access through this human body and this human brain everything that I experience. I can't. The human brain cannot do it. So I trigger it with questions, or your questions, or my own questions, moment to moment throughout the day, and sometimes throughout the night. So I will be happy to answer all of y'all's questions, but what I am spending most of my time on is going the other direction, is connecting with this human body so I can take this human body to 5D. Okay, and anybody else that I can help along the way on where I'm going, then I will take. Okay? Alright, I think I'm going to cut it off here and let y'all respond. And here we go, James. Ask me questions. I know a lot of stuff out there, but I go through it real fast in my own mind, because I don't have to do words. I could just do, thoughts or feelings of a question, and so I go through questions and answers all day long, rapid fire. So that's why I have this phone sitting here, and I grab it when I can slow one down long enough to do a video on it. Other than that, I'm pretty much relying on you guys to shoot me questions. Alrighty? I guess that's it. Alright, huge hugs, love you bunches, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.